reflection that wasn't mine. It all started the night my sister went missing. The police called it an accident. They said she must have wandered off in the woods behind our house and gotten lost. But I knew better, because I saw what took her. And now, it's coming for me. 1 year earlier. The night it happened, everything seemed normal. My sister Claire and I were watching a movie in the living room. Mom and Dad were already asleep upstairs. The wind howled outside, rattling the windows, but we barely noticed. We were too busy arguing over the last slice of pizza. Claire, being 2 years younger than me and an absolute menace, had stolen it right off my plate when I wasn't looking. "Thief," I muttered, reaching for it. She grinned and took an exaggerated bite. "Possession is 9/10 of the law." I rolled my eyes. "Fine, but if you choke on it, I'm telling Mom you did it on purpose." She stuck her tongue out at me, then got up to throw her plate in the sink. That was the last time I saw her. I remember hearing the back door creak open. A gust of cold air swept into the room, making the hair on my arm stand up. I turned. "Claire?" Silence. The kitchen light flickered. A shadow moved near the doorway. A deep, suffocating sense of dread settled over me. Something was wrong. I got up slowly, heart hammering in my chest. "Claire, this isn't funny." Still nothing. The back door was open, swaying slightly in the wind. Beyond it, the dark woods loomed. I stepped outside, my breath visible in the freezing air. The silence was deafening. No crickets, no rustling leaves, just nothing. Then I saw them, footprints. Claire's footprints leading into the woods. And beside them, something else. Something bigger. Something with clawed toes. I swallowed hard. "Claire?" The trees loomed ahead, twisted and gnarled, their skeletal branches reaching for the sky. The deeper I went, the more the air felt wrong, like it was heavier, harder to breathe. Then I heard it, a whisper. Not my name, not words, just something. I turned, my pulse hammering. Nothing. I kept walking, my eyes darting between the trees. That's when I saw it. A shadow, moving just out of sight, too tall to be Claire, too thin to be human. I stepped back, and then I saw her, Claire. She was standing in the middle of a small clearing, her back to me, staring at something I couldn't see. "Claire?" I ran toward her. "What the hell are you doing?" She didn't move. I reached out to grab her shoulder, but the second my fingers touched her, she turned. Her face was wrong. Her eyes, they weren't hers, they were black. Not just the irises, her entire eyes were pitch black, like pools of ink. Her mouth opened slightly, but no sound came out. And then, she smiled, not a normal smile. A wide, unnatural grin that stretched too far, her lips cracking at the edges. My stomach twisted. That wasn't Claire. I stumbled back, tripping over a root. The moment I hit the ground, the thing wearing my sister's face took a step toward me. "Come play with me," it whispered in a voice that wasn't hers. I scrambled to my feet and ran. Branches whipped against my arms, my feet barely touching the ground as I tore through the trees. Behind me, I heard something moving. Fast, too fast. I didn't dare look back. I burst through the tree line and into our backyard, slamming the door shut behind me. My hands were shaking so badly I could barely turn the lock. I didn't sleep that night. Claire never came back. The police searched for weeks, but they never found her. They didn't believe me when I told them what I saw. Mom cried every night. Dad stopped talking. And me? I never went near the woods again. 1 year later, I should have known it wasn't over. It started with the mirror. A week before the anniversary of Claire's disappearance, I was brushing my teeth when I noticed something. My reflection was off. At first, I thought it was just my imagination, but then I noticed the little things. The way my reflection didn't blink when I did. The way it seemed to smile when my face was neutral. The way, when I turned away, I swore I saw it keep watching me. One night, I tested it. I stood in front of the mirror and lifted my right hand. My reflection lifted its left. That's normal. That's what reflections do. But then, I lifted my left hand, and my reflection hesitated. Only for a second. Barely noticeable. But I saw it. I ran out of the bathroom, slamming the door shut. From that night on, I avoided mirrors. But it didn't matter, because whatever was in the reflection, it wasn't staying there anymore. The final night, I woke up to the sound of whispering. Low, garbled, like someone trying to speak underwater. I sat up, my heart pounding. The room was dark, too dark. I reached for my phone to check the time, but then I saw it. A shape, standing at the foot of my bed, tall, thin, motionless. The whispering grew louder. I couldn't breathe. It took a step closer, and in the dim light from the street lamp outside, I saw its face. Claire. Or what used to be Claire. Black eyes, wide grin, stretched skin. "Come play with me," it whispered, just like before. My body finally reacted. I lunged for the lamp on my nightstand and switched it on. The second the light filled the room, it was gone. But something was wrong. The closet door was open, and inside, the mirror was glowing faintly, like it was pulsing, like something was waiting on the other side. I ran, out of my room, down the stairs, out the front door. I didn't stop running until I was in the middle of the street, gasping for air. The house was silent, too silent. I called my mom's phone, no answer. I called my dad's, still nothing. And then I saw movement in my bedroom window, a silhouette, standing there, watching me, smiling. I haven't been back to that house since. My parents were never found. The police don't believe me, but I know the truth. Claire never left those woods, and now she wants me to join her. The game that never ended. I never should have played that game. I thought it was just a stupid internet challenge some urban legend people on Reddit talked about for fun, but it wasn't. It was real. And now I don't think I can ever stop playing, because if I do, it will find me. 1 week earlier, it started with a text message. I was sitting in my dorm half asleep, scrolling through TikTok, when my phone vibrated. Unknown number. "Do you want to play?" I frowned, rubbing my eyes. Probably some spam message. I ignored it. A minute later, "Unknown number. You have been chosen. The game begins now." I sighed and typed back, "Wrong number." But as soon as I hit send, my screen glitched. Static filled my phone for a second before the screen went black. Then, without me touching anything, the phone rebooted. A new message appeared. "Unknown number. Rule number 1. Never ignore the game master." I stared at it, heart pounding. Then another text popped up. "Unknown number. Rule number 2. You must complete every task. No exceptions." What the hell was this? Some kind of prank? I set my phone down and tried to shake off the weird feeling crawling up my spine. Maybe one of my friends was messing with me. That's when the third text came. "Unknown number. Your first task, leave your dorm. Now." A chill ran through me. I glanced at the clock, 1:47 a.m. I wasn't going anywhere. I locked my phone and tossed it on my desk. But then, bang, bang, bang. Someone knocked on my door. Not a normal knock. Hard, slow, rhythmic. I froze. Another text came through. "Unknown number. Open the door." I stared at it, my breath shallow. Then my phone buzzed again. This time, it wasn't a message. It was a photo of my dorm door. From the other side, someone was standing outside, taking pictures. A surge of panic shot through me. I turned off my lamp, creeping toward the door as quietly as possible. Peering through the peephole, my stomach dropped. The hallway was empty. I exhaled shakily. Maybe this was some elaborate prank. Maybe someone set up a timed message and I was just overreacting. I decided to ignore it. That was my first mistake. The next task. The next morning I woke up to another text. "Unknown number. You failed the first task. There is a consequence." I stared at it, unease settling deep in my gut. A new message popped up. "Unknown number. Look outside." Dread coiled in my stomach as I pulled back my curtain. A man stood in the courtyard below my dorm window, dressed in all black, perfectly still. His head was tilted upward, staring directly at me. I stumbled back, my heart hammering. Another text. "Unknown number. You have 1 hour to complete your next task. Find the red door on campus. Knock 3 times." I had enough. I called my friend Jake. "Dude, you're not gonna believe this." I explained everything. The texts, the knocking, the guy outside my window. Jake was quiet for a second. Then he sighed. "All right, man, I'll come with you." We met outside the dorms. "Where the hell is this red door?" Jake asked. I shrugged. "No idea. It just said it was on campus." We searched for almost an hour, cutting through the library, the student center, even the maintenance buildings. Nothing. Then Jake stopped. His face paled as he pointed toward the old abandoned science building at the edge of campus. My stomach dropped. The building had been shut down for years. No one was allowed inside. But there, in the middle of its rotting facade, was a single red door. "Dude," Jake muttered. "That door wasn't red last week." A text vibrated my phone. "Unknown number. Time is almost up. Knock 3 times." I didn't want to. Every instinct in my body told me to turn around and run. But I didn't have a choice, because standing at the end of the street was the man in black. still motionless, still watching. I swallowed hard and knocked 3 times. The thing behind the door. The second my knuckles hit the door, it creaked open on its own. Darkness stretched inside. A heavy, suffocating silence filled the air. Jake grabbed my arm. "Let's go, man. This isn't worth it." I was about to agree when a sound echoed from inside. A whisper. No, not one whisper. Dozens. Low, overlapping voices, hissing and murmuring in a language I didn't understand. Then I heard something else. Footsteps. Coming closer, a text appeared on my screen. "Unknown number, welcome to the next level." That's when the door slammed shut. Jake and I ran. I don't even remember getting back to my dorm. My hands were shaking so badly I could barely unlock my door. But when I did, my phone vibrated. "Unknown number. The game doesn't end until the game master says so." I felt sick. Jake swore under his breath. "Dude, block the number." I tried. It didn't work. I deleted the messages. They came back. My phone wouldn't turn off. And then the worst message of all came through. "Unknown number. You broke the rules again. Now someone has to pay." My blood ran cold. I looked at Jake. Before I could say anything, the lights flickered, the air turned ice cold. And then, Jake screamed. His body jerked violently like something unseen was yanking him backward. His eyes rolled back, mouth opening in a silent scream. And then he was gone. Just gone. The room was silent again. Except for one last message. "Unknown number. Congratulations, you've reached the final round." I stared at the screen, my breath ragged. Then, slowly, the reflection in my phone screen moved. Not like me, not at all. And behind it, a figure. Tall. Watching. Smiling. Now it's been 3 days. I haven't left my dorm. Haven't slept. The messages won't stop. The game master is always watching. And I know, if I don't play, I'll end up like Jake. So please. If you ever get a text asking if you want to play, don't answer. The Game That Never Ended. Part 2. I haven't slept in days. Not because I don't want to, because I can't. Every time I close my eyes, I hear it. The whispers. They crawl into my ears like insects, slithering into my mind, filling my head with things I don't understand, things I don't want to understand. The Game Master isn't done with me, not yet, but I think I know how this ends, and it's not in my favor. After Jake disappeared, I tried everything to escape this nightmare. I reset my phone, the messages came back. I tried throwing it away. It reappeared on my desk, buzzing with unread texts. I even left campus, driving as far as my gas tank would take me. But after hours on the road, I saw it. The red door. Standing alone in the middle of an empty gas station parking lot. Waiting. Mocking me. I turned around and drove back. And that's when the next text arrived. "Unknown number. Running is against the rules. Your next task begins now." I clenched my jaw, my hands shaking. I couldn't do this anymore. But then I saw the next message. "Unknown number. Fail again and someone else will disappear. Your choice." I swallowed hard. I had no choice. Task. The text came through at exactly midnight. "Unknown number. Go to the library. Find the book with no title. Open to page 66. That was it. No threats, no riddles, just a task. I hesitated, but I knew I couldn't refuse, so I went. The campus library was dark and empty. The doors unlocked, even though they were supposed to be closed after 10 p.m. As I stepped inside, my phone buzzed. Unknown number. No turning back. The air was heavy, suffocating. Bookshelves stretched high into the darkness, the shadows between them shifting unnaturally, like something was moving just beyond my sight. I walked deeper into the aisles, searching. Then I saw it. A single book on the shelf, its cover completely blank. I reached for it, my fingers trembling. The moment I touched it, a cold hand grabbed my wrist. I spun around. No one was there. The shadows seemed to breathe around me. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. Open it. I swallowed hard and flipped to page 66. There was no text, only a single phrase scrawled in red ink. He is watching. A chill crawled up my spine. Then, slowly, the letters began to change. They shifted, rearranging themselves until new words formed. Look behind you. I didn't want to. Every nerve in my body screamed at me not to. But I had no choice. I turned. And there, at the end of the aisle, standing in the darkness, was Jake. His head was tilted at an unnatural angle. His mouth stretched into a grin that wasn't his. And his eyes, they were completely black. He took a step forward. I ran. The final round. I didn't stop running until I was back in my dorm, locking the door behind me. My breath came in ragged gasps as my phone buzzed again. Unknown number, you are almost there. My hands shook as I typed, please just let me go. The reply came instantly. One last task. I squeezed my eyes shut, then slowly I read the message. Turn around. My blood turned to ice. I didn't move. I couldn't, but I felt it. The presence behind me, cold breath on my neck, a whisper, low, distorted, in a voice that wasn't human. Then, darkness. Now I don't know where I am. The walls are black. The air is heavy. The only thing in this endless void is my phone, glowing in the darkness. There's a new message. Unknown number, welcome to the final level. I don't think I can win this game, but I know one thing. I am not alone. And I am not the first.